healthy cooking series. Today I've come up with a very exciting recipe for Valentine's Day. I call it the Tricoloured Tribute. The reason for this is that there are three colors in the Indian flag, the orange, white and green, and coincidentally on Valentine's Day there have been such great heroes who have sacrificed their life for the country. So I would like to dedicate this sweet not only for the Valentine's Day occasion but also as a tribute to all these heroes who sacrificed their life. And I would also like to dedicate this sweet to all the heroes around the world. For this tricolor tribute, we are going to prepare it in 3 separate batches. First, we are going to get the base layer ready. Now, if you remember, the base layer was green in color. So first, we are going to get the pistachio cake layer ready. For that, the ingredients are 1 cup of ground pistachio paste, then 1/4 cup of milk powder. There's jaggery syrup. Now, for jaggery syrup, I have uploaded a recipe where you can get an idea of how you could prepare the syrup from Indian molasses or jaggery. I also have another special nutritious ingredient, that is Irish moss jelly. For this also I have uploaded a video to give you an idea of how you could prepare the Irish moss jelly. This jelly that you have is not only nutritious but it will also help give a little slight firm texture to the sweet cake that we are trying to get ready. I also have clarified butter or ghee. And first we are going to use the clarified butter and we are going to heat the clarified butter so that it melts in a heavy bottom pan. So first I am going to put a teaspoon of ghee or clarified butter into this pan and allow this to melt. Once this melts, I am going to add the milk powder first. Now you can see the clarified butter has almost melted. We can keep this on medium flame. Now once the clarified butter melts, I'm going to add this 1/4 cup of milk powder into my pan. And it is very important that we stir and mix this well constantly, right, taking your ladle right up to the bottom of the pan so that the things don't stick and they don't start burning. Okay, so now if you can see, I have mixed this well and I'm constantly stirring, and you will see 2 to 3 minutes it leaves a very nice aroma and it gets a slightly wet appearance. Now once this happens, this takes approximately say 3 to 4 minutes. You just add the pistachio paste into the mixture and we are again going to mix this well. Now once you add the pistachio paste, I would also like to add the molasses. You can adjust the taste according to how you prefer, how much sweet you prefer. I'm going to add approximately say 6 to 7 teaspoons of the molasses syrup. And when I talk about the benefits, I would be explaining why this molasses syrup is so useful. It is so healthy, full of minerals. So you can see now the paste has become quite wet. You keep on stirring again. But always remember to use your ladle right through the bottom so that it avoids burning or sticking off the mixture. So you can see now the paste is gone thick and we're just going to cook this for 3 to 4 minutes or 5 minutes maximum, so that we don't have the raw pistachio taste in this. Now I just would like to point out that the green color that you're seeing for this paste is only because I've blanched the pistachio nuts. So for that you just put the pistachios into a pan of hot water, leave it for 5 minutes, and after 5 minutes just drain the water and just peel the skin off, and you can see that it gives you the lovely beautiful green pistachios that you can see in the paste. So just need to add the pistachios into a pan of hot water and just leave them for 5 minutes. So as it is, when you have prepared the paste, it is slightly cooked already, so we will not need much time to cook here. The paste will get cooked quickly, so at the most 5 to 7 minutes. And once you start feeling the paste is coming together into a single thick mass, then we are going to add the Irish moss jelly, and we just need a teaspoon so that it makes it firmer and we get a nice firm pistachio cake ready as the base layer, because this base layer is going to support the other two layers. Okay, so once this has come together into a thick mass, I'm just going to add 1 teaspoon of the Irish moss jelly. This will ensure that it gives nutrition, plus it gives a little firm texture like a pistachio cake. So I'm just going to give it a nice mix. It blends in well. And then we are going to spread it on a grease tray so that we can have our base layer ready and allow it to set. And then we are going to get ready to make the second layer, the milk layer, the milk cake, the white layer. Okay, so now our mixture is ready. I'm just going to grease this tray with a little clarified butter. Once I've done that, I'm going to pour out the mixture onto the dish. I'm going to now just use a little bit of clarified butter on the back of the spoon to spoon this out nicely. Now once I have done that, then I'm going to try and spread this uniformly into a rectangular or oblique shape. For that you may have to use some more clarified butter on the back of the spoon so that it doesn't stick to the spoon, and you can set it into the desired shape. So slowly and gently, because the mixture is hot, so avoid burning your fingers, and that looks nice. So spread it gently, at least keep it a little half an inch thick. So you can see I have shaped the pistachio cake layer into a nice rectangular oblique shape. We are going to leave this aside for some time so that it cools down completely and it sets into a firm layer. In the meanwhile, let's get the second layer or the middle layer ready, which is our white milk cake layer. Okay, so for the second layer, the middle layer, the milk cake layer, we need clarified butter, we need some milk powder, 1 cup of milk powder. Again, we are going to use some Irish moss jelly, and we are going to use our jaggery syrup or the molasses syrup. Again, I'm just going to repeat that you can adjust the sweetness of the milk cake as per your taste. So I'm going to add 2 teaspoons this time of clarified butter, and I'm going to allow the clarified butter to melt. Once it melts, I'm going to add the milk powder. Now the clarified butter has melted. We are slowly going to introduce the milk powder into the pan and gently try and mix it. And always running the ladle right through the bottom of the pan so that things don't stick to the bottom. So actually, if you see, this recipe is a very simple, easy and nutritious recipe. Though we need to do in 3 parts, we need to prepare 3 layers, but you just have 3 or 4 ingredients, and the time taken to prepare each of them is also not much. So it's a very easy, beautiful looking, attractive looking sweet. Now, as I had told in the previous base layer, once there's a good aroma, you can feel from this mixture, you just know that it has started cooking. And this also takes approximately, say, 3 to 4 minutes. Then you will start adding the jaggery syrup or the molasses syrup. Now you can see it looks quite well coated with the clarified butter, and it has started giving out good aroma. I am going to add 8 spoons of the jaggery syrup. You may adjust according to how you prefer. So you may add a little less or more. Now this jaggery syrup is also like a binding agent. So that is the advantage of using this liquid sugar, which is not only nourishing but it is also binding. So it will give a good texture to your milk cake. So now you have to be careful because it is a little sticky. So you be careful the pan doesn't tilt over. So hold it firmly and try to mix, each time stirring right through the bottom. And we have to cook it for some 3 to 4 minutes before we'll start seeing that it comes together like a ball of mass of ball. So now if you see, the whole thing has mixed up really well. It's cooked well. You can feel the aroma coming from the mixture. The mixture is getting together. It's come quite well into a big mass. It's quite sticky, and now it will readily set on the base layer. If you can see, it is nice and thick and sticky. What I'm going to do now is just going to add our Irish moss, and just a spoon of Irish moss is good enough to make it nice and firm. So I've just added 1 spoon of Irish moss. I'm just going to mix it well. It may appear as though it's gone thin again, but actually it is giving a nice smooth effect to the milk cake. So we're just going to cook for approximately 1 or 2 minutes, and then we are going to try and spread it over the base pistachio layer. The mixture is ready. Now we're just going to turn the heat off, and we're going to try and spread on the base layer. So I'm going to just first place it on the base layer. Once I place it on the base layer, then I'm going to try and give the thickness and try and spread it exactly, covering the whole area and the shape of the pistachio layer. Now again for this layer, I'm going to just smear the back of the spoon with some clarified butter so that I can easily spread the milk cake layer. You have to be very careful. This is hot, so you don't burn your fingers. Just be gentle. Do not press too hard or you may just drop and puncture into the pistachio layer. So very gently smooth out the milk layer. Now once you have done that, we're just going to leave this to cool and set so that we can get the third layer on top. So allow this to cool down, allow this to set nicely, and in the meanwhile let's get the topmost layer, a carrot cake layer, ready. Okay, for the topmost layer, the carrot cake layer, the ingredients include 1 cup of grated carrot. We need 1 tablespoon of fresh grated coconut, and we have 1/4, just approximately little less than 1/4 cup of milk. Again, we have our Irish moss jelly. We have 1/2 teaspoon of cardamom powder. We have clarified butter, and we need our molasses syrup. Okay, so what I have done is now made a paste all with the carrots, the grated carrots, the coconut and the milk. And I'm just going to add it to a slightly preheated hot bottom pan. And then I'm going to cook this by constantly stirring it so that it doesn't stick to the bottom. And we want to cook it till we feel the milk has been nicely absorbed and this carrot mixture is a little thicker in consistency. And plus obviously the carrots and the coconut get cooked well. So I'm just going to keep stirring. So you just need to keep stirring. This may take a little time. The other 2 layers were very quick. They go very quick, but since this is raw carrot, we will need some 10 to 15 minutes of patience until the carrot mixture gets cooked with the milk and the coconut. Okay, it's been approximately 10 to 12 minutes, and now if we see, after constant and frequent stirring, we can see the milk and the carrot and the coconut have cooked quite well. Now I'm going to add, and you can also see one thing at this point, that it is not as liquidy or fluidy as it was in the beginning. Now I'm going to add the molasses. So you can again adjust the taste and add as much as you like. I'm just going to add 3 spoons and give it a good shake. Stir well, stir thoroughly, cook for a few moments till it dissolves well. And now I'll need to cook it for approximately 5 to 7 minutes more so that we can have a thick paste. And to make it thicker, I'm going to use the Irish moss. So I've added the Irish moss, a teaspoonful. You may add a little more if you feel the paste is not thick enough. So you can just add maybe, I think I can add a little more so that it becomes a little more firmer, gives a nice firm texture. So I've added a teaspoon more of the Irish moss. Okay, see now if you can see, this has come together into a thick mass. I just want to remind you that these are carrots, vegetables which are not going to get as firm as the other 2 layers. So what we are going to do now is just going to add a little clarified butter and give it a good mix. Cook for only 2 minutes, and then we are going to spread it over the milk cake layer. So the clarified butter will give a nice taste, plus it will enhance the digestive power and also give some omega fatty acids. Okay, so now after 3 minutes we are going to put the heat off, add the cardamom powder, mix it well, and now we are ready to spread it over the milk cake layer. So I'm just going to mix it nicely, and now we're going to spread over the second layer. Okay, so now I'm going to first place the carrot mixture on the second layer, and then slowly spread this. Now again, if you feel it is difficult to spread, just use some clarified butter behind on the back of the spoon and just slowly try to spread it along the shape of the middle layer. So try to do this in small amounts, because you remember I had told you this is not going to be as firm as the other two layers. It will take some time to set. So we are going to do it in portions, but it is spreading well. You can use some more clarified butter to smoothen out the surface. And it looks beautiful. It has a nice orange color. Now once we have done all the 3 layers, we are going to allow this to cool and set, and if you feel it is slightly loose and it isn't firm enough to be cut into the desired shape, the squares, you can always refrigerate this for half an hour and then try and cut them into squares. So for the carrot layer to settle, just allow it to cool, and then you can try and put this in the refrigerator for just about half an hour, and then you can cut it into the desired shape. You'll get a nice beautiful tricolored tribute. So this lovely tricolor tribute that we have made is full of nutrients. If we talk about the pistachio layer first, the pistachios are full of proteins. They give a lot of protein. They give a lot of vitamin A, B. They give vitamin C. They have vitamin B12, which is something which the vegetarians find it hard to extract from their diet. So vitamin B12, which is very good for the health of the blood cells, for the blood and for the nervous system, can be easily extracted from your pistachio nuts. And the pistachio nuts, the fat that is contained in pistachio nuts is also an unsaturated source of fat, which also helps with controlling the bad cholesterol. So it helps with maintaining good cholesterol and lowers the bad cholesterol. So pistachio nuts, if people have this impression that they may be high in calories, but actually they contain very healthy fats, and plus they are very good source of protein. So pistachio nuts is a good source of snacks. So you can snack on pistachio nuts, which can keep you full for a longer time. So you can help manage your weight as well. So it is very useful in weight management as well. The carrots which we have used for the orange color, the topmost layer, are very rich in vitamin A and carotenoids, which are anti-inflammatory antioxidants. They're good for eye health. They're also good for immunity. They help you fight infections. And plus the Irish moss, which is a new ingredient which we have used here. Irish moss is actually not a moss, it is just a red algae. Now this red algae contains a lot of iodine, and iodine is something again which is difficult for vegetarians to extract through their diet. So red algae, Irish moss, can be a good source of iodine, which is very useful for the health of your thyroid gland, which is a gland which sits in your throat area, and it is very good for the metabolism, for weight management. So red algae is one good source for vegetarians to get their vitamin B12, and even pistachios also contain vitamin B12. So B12 can be easily got by vegetarians in their diet through pistachios or through the use of Irish moss as well. And the jaggery syrup which we have prepared from the traditionally made jaggery, which is actually prepared in a very traditional method without harsh processing. So it retains all the nutrients. It again provides you with loads of minerals, especially iron, calcium, copper and chromium. So it gives you a lot of minerals through this sweet. Even diabetics can savor this without any guilt. So you don't only enjoy this sweet, but you will also not feel guilty that you're having a high calorie sweet cake for a snack. And I would also like to advise you, when you buy your Irish moss, from whichever source you buy your Irish moss, try to see it is an organic food Irish moss powder, rather than the brand which is available under the trade name of carrageenan kappa or carrageenan iota, because those excess use of these brands may be carcinogenic in the long run. So I would suggest, and I have also provided a link from where I have always been buying this Irish moss powder in the description box. So please try and make the best advantage out of this and make this sweet. Try to make this sweet and enjoy it. It is full of nutrients, a guilt-free sweet treat for Valentine's. Happy Valentine's.